Have you ever noticed how the word retirement can stir up so many different feelings? For some people, it feels like freedom, like finally stepping off the treadmill after years of hard work. For others, it feels a little scary, like stepping into the unknown, where routines change, income shifts, and life looks very different than it used to. No matter how we feel about it, one thing is certain: retirement is not just about leaving work behind. It's about building a life that still has meaning, joy, and stability. And if we don't prepare for it in the right ways, we can easily find ourselves feeling lost, lonely, or even financially stressed. That's why today I want to talk with you about something that I think is so important: the 4 things you really shouldn't retire without. These aren't things you can buy at the store or stick in a bank account, though money is certainly part of the equation. These are things that will shape the kind of life you live after 50, 60, or even 70. Think of them as the foundation for a retirement that doesn't just look good on paper but actually feels fulfilling every single day. Let's start with one of the most practical pieces, because whether we like it or not, it's a big factor in retirement, and that is having financial clarity. Now, I didn't say wealth, and I didn't say being rich. I said clarity. And here's what I mean by that. Many of us go into retirement thinking, well, I've got my Social Security, maybe some savings, maybe a pension. I'll figure it out as I go. But the truth is, not knowing exactly what you have, how long it might last, and what your expenses really are can create a constant, low-level anxiety. It's like driving a car without a gas gauge. You don't know when you're going to run out, and you spend the whole trip worrying. Financial clarity means sitting down and getting honest with yourself. What are your real monthly expenses? What will healthcare cost you as you get older? How much do you need for fun, the hobbies, the trips, the little pleasures that make life worth living? And then, what income streams do you have that will cover those things? You don't need to have millions to feel secure, but you do need to know your numbers. Even if that means talking to a financial advisor or just making a simple plan with pen and paper, that clarity takes away so much stress. And here's something I've seen happen again and again: once people know their numbers, they actually feel freer. They realize, hey, maybe I don't need as much as I thought. Maybe I can afford that weekend trip with the grandkids or that art class I've been eyeing. Clarity isn't about limiting you, it's about giving you the confidence to enjoy what you've worked so hard for. But here's the thing. Money alone won't make your retirement meaningful. You can have the best financial plan in the world and still wake up feeling empty if you don't have the second crucial thing, a sense of purpose. Now, think back to when you were working. Even if you didn't always love your job, there was structure, there were goals, there were people depending on you. That gave your days direction. When retirement comes, all of that changes. Suddenly, no one is expecting you at 9 a.m., and it's up to you to decide what your day looks like. At first, that might feel great. Finally, you can sleep in. But over time, without purpose, the days can start to blur together, and life can feel flat. Purpose doesn't have to mean starting a new business or writing a book, though for some people it does. It can be as simple as volunteering at a local school, mentoring younger folks in your field, tending a garden that feeds your neighborhood, or even being the person who always checks in on friends and family. Purpose is about feeling useful, needed, and engaged. It's about waking up with something to look forward to. I'll give you an example. A friend of mine, Mark, retired at 62. He thought he was going to love it, sleeping late, golfing whenever he wanted, no more deadlines. And for about 6 months, it was wonderful. But then he started to notice he was restless. Golf didn't feel as satisfying anymore, and he was spending way too much time in front of the TV. His wife gently nudged him to get involved with the local community center, where they needed someone to teach a basic computer class for seniors. He gave it a try, and now, 3 years later, he teaches that class twice a week, and he lights up when he talks about it. His purpose wasn't golf. His purpose was helping others feel connected and capable in a digital world. That's the thing about purpose, it's deeply personal. What excites me might not excite you, and that's okay. The key is to find something that makes you feel alive, needed, and connected. Retirement isn't about fading into the background. It's about choosing how you want to spend your time in ways that bring you meaning. So, when we think about not retiring without certain things, we've already got two big ones on the table: financial clarity and a sense of purpose. One makes sure you're secure, and the other makes sure you're fulfilled. Both are essential if you want retirement to feel like a new chapter, not an ending. Now, as we move forward, let's dive even deeper into what else truly makes life after 50 not just livable but joyful. Because while money and purpose are crucial, there are other elements that matter just as much when it comes to creating a retirement you love waking up to. If you're still watching and feel that these insights are meaningful, please type number 2 in the comments to let me know you're still with me. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I warmly invite you to do so, and don't forget to turn on the bell, so you won't miss any of our upcoming videos designed to uplift, inform, and inspire. Your support truly means a lot. It's what keeps us going and allows us to continue sharing thoughtful, helpful content just for you. Now, let's continue this journey together. We've already talked about the importance of financial clarity and having a real sense of purpose, but let's be honest here, those two alone won't carry you through a fulfilling retirement. Because even if your finances are secure and you've found something meaningful to pour your time into, there's another piece of the puzzle that can't be ignored: relationships. Human beings are wired for connection. Think about it. Some of the happiest moments of your life probably weren't the ones where you were alone. They were the times you were laughing with friends, celebrating with family, or even just having coffee with a neighbor who gets you. As we get older, though, those connections can start to slip away if we're not intentional. People move, loved ones pass away, and sometimes health issues make it harder to stay socially active. If we're not careful, we can end up more isolated than we realize. And the truth is, loneliness doesn't just affect our mood, it affects our health. Studies have shown that loneliness can be as harmful to your health as smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. Let that sink in for a moment. It raises your risk of heart disease, dementia, and even early death. But the flip side is also true: strong social connections boost your immune system, improve your memory, and even help you live longer. So when I say, don't retire without relationships, I really mean it. It's just as important as your financial plan. And relationships don't have to mean having a huge circle of friends. For some people, it's one or two close companions they can truly count on. For others, it might be family, church groups, or volunteer communities. The key is quality, not quantity. Who are the people in your life who bring you joy, who make you feel seen, who you can laugh with or lean on when times get tough? Those are the connections worth nurturing. One woman I know, Linda, learned this lesson the hard way. She retired from her corporate job at 65, and she had saved well. She had a purpose too. She loved painting and was finally able to devote real time to it. But what she didn't realize was that most of her social life had been tied to her job. Within a year of retirement, she found herself painting alone day after day. Her kids lived far away, and she didn't know many of her neighbors. She started to feel isolated, even though she was doing something she loved. It wasn't until she joined a local art group that everything changed. Suddenly, she wasn't just painting, she was sharing, learning, laughing, and building friendships again. It wasn't the art alone that gave her joy, it was the people. That's the thing about retirement. The freedom is wonderful, but without people to share it with, it can feel empty. So whether it's joining a club, reaching out to old friends, calling a family member more often, or even making new connections online, investing in relationships is just as essential as saving for retirement. Because at the end of the day, it's not the money or the hobbies that fill our hearts, it's the people we love and the memories we create together. But let's move into the fourth and final piece, because this one is often overlooked, yet it's the glue that holds everything else together: your health. You see, you can have all the money in the world, the strongest purpose, and the best circle of friends, but if your body doesn't allow you to enjoy it, none of it really matters. Now, I don't mean you have to be running marathons at 70 or 80. I mean you need a body that supports the kind of life you want to live. Do you want to travel? Play with your grandkids? Tend your garden? Go dancing? Even something as simple as walking around the block without getting winded? That all depends on the choices you make about your health today. The good news is, it's never too late. I've seen people in their 70s start walking daily and completely transform their stamina. I've seen folks who thought they were too old for exercise discover chair yoga or water aerobics and find a whole new lease on life. And health isn't just about the physical side, it's about mental and emotional well-being too. Keeping your mind sharp with reading, puzzles, or learning something new, and tending to your emotional health through mindfulness or gratitude are just as important as eating well and moving your body. Think of your health as the foundation under your retirement home. You can decorate that house with purpose, relationships, and financial security, but if the foundation crumbles, the whole house is at risk. Prioritizing your health doesn't have to be complicated. Eat a little better, move a little more, sleep a little deeper, and stay curious and engaged. These small choices add up, and they make the difference between simply surviving retirement and actually thriving in it. I think of a man named George who retired at 67. He had everything lined up, his finances were in order, he had a strong marriage, and he loved woodworking. But the one thing he had neglected for years was his health. He was overweight, he had diabetes, and he brushed off the warning signs because he thought he could just deal with them later. Sadly, within a few years of retirement, his health declined so quickly that he wasn't able to do the things he loved. His wife said the hardest part wasn't losing the trips they'd planned, it was watching him feel trapped in his own body. That's why I'm so passionate about reminding people, don't retire without taking care of your health. Because without it, all the other pieces lose their shine. So now we've laid out 4 essential things: clarity with your money, a sense of purpose, strong relationships, and a commitment to your health. Each one matters on its own, but together, they create a retirement that's full, vibrant, and meaningful. It's not just about how long you live, but how well you live. And as we bring these ideas together, let's take a moment to think about what this really means for you personally. Because while advice is helpful, what matters most is how it fits into your own life, your own dreams, and your own values. When you really stop and think about it, retirement isn't just about leaving a job. It's about entering a whole new chapter of life. For decades, your days might have been defined by your work schedule, your responsibilities, and the goals you were chasing. But once that chapter closes, you get this incredible opportunity to write something new. And the beautiful part is, you get to decide what that story looks like. The 4 things we've talked about aren't just a checklist. They're the pillars that hold up this new chapter. Money gives you stability, purpose gives you direction, relationships give you joy, and health gives you the ability to keep moving forward. Together, they create a life that feels full, balanced, and worth waking up to each morning. But here's the truth, none of these things happen by accident. You don't magically wake up one day with perfect finances, a crystal clear purpose, a circle of friends, and great health. They're choices. They're habits. They're the result of small steps taken consistently over time. And the sooner you start making those choices, the richer your retirement years will be. That's not to say it's too late if you're already in your 60s, 70s, or even beyond. Not at all. In fact, one of the most empowering things about this stage of life is realizing that change is possible at any age. Maybe you can't undo every mistake of the past, but you can absolutely shape what your future looks like. Every walk you take, every call you make to reconnect with an old friend, every meal you choose that nourishes instead of depletes you, these are the moments that add up. And let me tell you something else, retirement doesn't have to be the slowing down of life. It can be the beginning of your most vibrant, meaningful years. I've met people who found love for the first time in their 70s. Others who finally wrote the book they always dreamed about. Some who became world travelers, and some who found joy in the simple daily rhythm of gardening, cooking, or spending time with grandkids. The common thread wasn't that their lives were perfect, it was that they embraced these 4 essentials and built their retirement around them. Think about it this way. Imagine your retirement as a garden. Money is the soil, it gives you the foundation to grow. Purpose is the sunlight, it helps you flourish and reach upward. Relationships are the water, they nourish you and keep you connected. And health is the roots. They keep you grounded and strong. Without any one of these, the garden struggles. But when they all work together, you get a life that's abundant, colorful, and thriving. Now, let's get personal. What do you want your retirement to look like? Close your eyes for a moment and picture it. Where are you? Who's with you? What are you doing that brings you joy? That picture you see, that's your blueprint. And if you notice that one of these 4 essentials is missing, that's your invitation to start working on it. It might feel overwhelming at first, but remember, you don't need to fix everything overnight. Start small. Maybe it's having a conversation with a financial advisor. Maybe it's signing up for that community class you've been curious about. Maybe it's calling an old friend or making that doctor's appointment you've been putting off. One step leads to another, and before you know it, you've created momentum. I also want you to remember that retirement isn't a competition. It's not about keeping up with what someone else is doing or feeling like you're behind. It's about crafting a life that feels right for you. For some, that might mean traveling the world. For others, it's simply having a cozy home filled with family visits and peaceful mornings. Both are equally valuable, as long as they bring you fulfillment. And if you ever feel like you've missed your chance, I want you to hold on to this truth. As long as you're still breathing, it's not too late. Every sunrise is another opportunity to choose differently, to take care of yourself, to deepen your relationships, to find joy in something new. Age doesn't disqualify you, it equips you. Because now, you have wisdom, perspective, and the freedom to focus on what really matters. So here's my encouragement to you. Don't just drift into retirement hoping it will all work out. Be intentional. Protect your financial stability. Give your days meaning. Nurture the people who make your heart full. And treat your body with the care it deserves. Because when you do, retirement stops being something to fear and becomes something to celebrate. If this message resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. What's the one thing you're focusing on right now to make your retirement years better? Share it in the comments. I think it could inspire someone else who's watching this today. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you'll never miss future conversations like this one. At the end of the day, life after 50 isn't about winding down, it's about living more fully than ever before. It's about trading the stress of the past for the joy of the present. It's about embracing freedom, creating meaning, and cherishing the people and experiences that light you up. You have so much life left to live, and you deserve to live it well. Here's to building a retirement that's not just long, but rich in love, purpose, health, and peace of mind. Because no matter your age, your best years can still be ahead of you.